So this is my tutorial, which is a typography photograph tutorial, and as you can see here, this is my example of using typography and Photoshop alongside a photo to create an interesting effect. And this is my picture of London Bridge in London. So I'm just going to hide away these layers, get rid of them. So I'm starting from scratch like you. You're going to need to have an image open. You're also going to need to have some text ready, and I've just put mine in a Word document. I've just copied and pasted that information from the internet for quickness. The first thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to split your image up into colours, different colour ranges. So go to select colour range, click on shadows, make sure it says selection at the top, click OK, Command C to copy, Command V to paste, and that will paste into a new layer. And do the same thing again, select colour range. This time you want to choose the mid-tones and click OK, Control C, Control V, or, Command or Control, sorry. And then you have those two layers, the shadows and the mid-tones separately. And then you're going to select both of those layers by holding down Shift and then doing Command E, and that will join the two layers together. So this is the stage that you're at. You don't need the background layer anymore, so you can keep that hidden with the eye turned off. You then need to create a new document for your text, and you want your document to be 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters with a resolution of 300 pixels per inch, like that. So you've got a nice square. You're going to select the text tool and then draw out by holding down on the click and dragging out to make a square shape ready to put your text into. Then open up your document that has your text ready. Command C to copy and then Command V to paste in, and you'll see that actually I've already chosen my font to be Edwardian script. I think this works quite well. And a font size of 30 is also quite a good size. So if you then, we need to turn this text into a brush. So we're going to edit this as a brush, So edit, define brush preset, give it a name. I'm just going to call mine London for now. Once you've saved that, that should then be ready to use within your other document. You won't need that one anymore, so you can get rid of it. What you need to do then is to open up your brushes. So select your brush tool, create a new layer like so, and then select your brush that you've just made. We don't want it to be too big. We want it perhaps to start off around the sort of 300 mark, and the idea with this is kind of just to give lots of different sizes of text. Make sure that you're on black, and then you basically just need to, I need to check the opacity is on 100%. You just need to then kind of like fill over the image. So once you've done that on 300, you can then go a bit bigger to maybe start for like 600 or 700. Put a couple of those around, and then perhaps go even bigger. And the idea of that is just to play around, keep playing around until you've got a good selection. If you want to hide your image while you're doing this so you can see what's going on, you can try and do that as well. There you go. So once you've done that and you've got a good selection of text sizes, an area of text there, the next thing that you need to do is actually to create a layer mask, and you do that by clicking on the third icon along on the bottom. Click on that, make sure you're on your text layer, and you'll see that this little new section comes onto your layer, which is your layer mask area. Hide that for the moment, click back onto your layer 1 with your mid-tones and shadows on. You then want to do Command A to select all on that, and then Command C to copy. Show your text layer again, click on the layer mask thumbnail there, hold down Alt and click, and that will bring the actual layer mask up for you. And then you want to press Command V to paste your selection in. So now that you've done that, you need to hit Command D to deselect, and Command I to invert your image. Hide this one here, click on your actual image, and there you can see that you're starting to get the effect building up that we were setting up earlier on. What would be good at this stage if you created a white layer underneath, so create a new layer, drag it down so that it's underneath the top, the text layer, make sure it's white, and fill it with the paint bucket, and that helps you to be able to see what's going on a bit clearer. The next thing that you're going to do is edit this, because we want this to be coloured, the text layer. If you go into the layer blending options here, where you'll find the layer blending layer styles, open up the gradient box, and you can click on screen for the blending mode, and then choose your gradient. It's up to you which one you do, but for now I'm just going to go with this one, quite standard type of gradient, but obviously there's lots of different ones for you to play around with. And then you can actually change the scale of it to make it a bit bigger. I'm going to make it a bit darker, I think. And then you can also change the angle, which I'm going to put slightly. Let's have a look and see what's going on. Yeah, I'm going to put it maybe slightly like that. So it's a bit yellowy over on one corner, in the lighter area perhaps. And then click OK. Right, we're nearly there now with this tutorial. The next thing that we need to do is we need to kind of brush away some of the areas. So we need to make sure that this is on black first of all. Make sure it's on black. Click on your brush, choose a nice soft brush, around about sort of 30 points or so. You then need to make sure that your opacity is also down about 30, because we don't want to be rubbing away too much of our lovely text layer. And then literally you need to just paintbrush over your area, and what that does is it gets rid of some of the excess white, and that helps for your image to kind of show up a bit more, to add a bit more detail in. And obviously you don't want all of it showing, but this just helps to kind of pick out some of those key areas that are missing, like the tops of the bridge and things like that, where you want the detail to really be obvious. So just have a little play around doing that until you're ready. And then once you've done that, final stage, just to add a little bit more detail if you want. If you're not happy with this white area being completely white, or you wanted to add some more text in, if you actually click into your, if you Alt and click into the layer mask layer here, and then open up your brush again, you can add a few more layers in. So if you wanted to add in another really big layer with some writing in, you could try doing that, and if you click back you can actually see that that's now added that in. Probably what I'm going to do is actually add in, Alt click, and just add in some more small text, around maybe the 300 mark. And I'm keeping it on a quite low opacity because I don't want this to be really over the top. I just want it to kind of help blending in. So that the white background isn't completely white, so that's just added a bit of a layer in there. And then really it's up to you just to fiddle around and finish off your portrait and have it however you want it. And just maybe you can still add in a bit more text if you felt like it, back in the normal layer. that's what you wanted to do. And then when you think you're ready, then you can kind of leave the portrait like that, the image as that. So that is how to make a typography photograph in Adobe Photoshop, and hopefully you found that helpful.